Hi, I'm Joey Raia, and these are some of my rare finds. This is my full tone custom shop tube tape echo. I use it on vocals pretty much every mix. I use it on guitars, I use it on synths. It provides, not just delay, but tone. With the settings on it, you could overdrive the tube. It has a tone control on it also, so you could adjust the sound of the repeats. One of the things I like about it is it's not a synced box, and so I'll just put up a vocal track and put this up, and I'll just tweak around with the delay times with the slider here, adjust the speed from high to low. As it's playing, you'll feel everything. You'll know when it works. You're like, oh, that's what I'm looking for, and then I'll just print that. And sometimes I'll double it up with a different delay using the same box, which always reminds me that I should buy another one of these because stereo is always dope. I'm a kind of a synth collector. I suffer from synth lust, as my friends say. And the top one here is a Roland Paraphonic 505, which isn't the easiest thing to come by. The sound is pretty unique. It was used in the 80s a lot on some soundtrack stuff and whatnot. And whenever I have people coming here to mix, a lot of times they plug that in and listen to it and wind up, using it pretty much almost every time they hear it. Yeah, I'll play a little here. Oh, here it is. I was a big fan of like the Blade Runner soundtrack, and you do research, and I found out this is one of the synths he used, and you scour the internet and came across one, and I think it was on eBay, and this was back probably like 10 or 12 years ago, and it was in good condition, and I cleaned it up, and yeah, everything works great with it. One of the cool things is the ensemble mode here, 1, 2, and 3 is like they took this ensemble mode, and that's kind of what the Dimension D was created from. It's a kind of a chorusing type effect, and it's kind of built into the box, which is kind of cool. This is one of my pedal mobile kind of wheelie pedal racks. I built this specific setup to be self-contained in that it has its own interface. Basically, this rack does 16 channels of I/O, and I keep 8 stereo pedals. So this rack usually just for stereo pedals is how I use it. I can't talk about just one pedal because I kind of love everything in this rack, and it kind of revolves. But this company, Otto, makes great pedals. This is their like bim, bam, boom, and this delay is the bim, which I use constantly on everything from like vocals to guitars and whatnot. Synths. Bam is their reverb, which is also awesome. Boom is a distortion box, analog distortion box, all analog signal path, which is great too on bass and drums. I run it in parallel. Second drawer is some of the Meris boxes, Mercury 7, another great really interesting reverb. This was also modeled around the Blade Runner type sound in terms of the reverbs they used back then. It pairs really well with string synths and stuff like that. Same thing with the Polymoon. It's another it's great delay. The Specula Tempest is another great box. It does delay and reverbs, and does great like shimmery sounds. And I have some of these, the Big Sky and the Timeline on the bottom, which are also great reverb and delay. And again, I use these almost on every track I work on. Whenever I want to pull up a delay, everything is synced and I could just kind of like fool around here with settings. And in Pro Tools it's great because it pulls up really quick because it shows up on its own interface. So I could just pull the insert onto any channel and have it there instantly, so there's no patching or anything involved. Okay, I have a little piece of a synth here, a synth lead that I just was working on with the Specular Tempest, and I'll play it dry. And then I'll play it with the Tempest on it. And this is doing like a delay, bit of verb, and a bit of pitch shifting. So that's that. And this behind me is my Neve 5088. It's kind of the centerpiece of my my workflow and my mixing. You know, I would call my approach hybrid mixing. So it's, you know, some of it's in Pro Tools and then some of it's here on the desk. This console they made for me specifically for, it's tailored to a hybrid mix approach. So the first 4 channels are mono. I had, you know, sometimes I like having my vocals, I like having my 808s a lot, my kick, snare, whatever tends to be mono, and I like having mono control. And it's tailored towards subgroups, like if you look at the track, I have my main drums, my parallel drums, bass, parallel bass, and then, you know, I'll depending on the song I'm mixing, I'll have different subgroups and whatnot. It's configured with their automation system called Swift Mix. In Pro Tools, the thing I love about it, it's like having a summing amp that you could do stuff with, like you could do rides on. You have full automation control of automation modes, and everything is saved with your session. So you could actually sit down when I'm working on a mix and, you know, say, oh, this vocal needs to be riding. You could just change your automation mode, touch. You know, you could ride your vocals here. Everything's recorded with the session. You don't have to worry about, you know, the levels you're at, and you pull the session back up and everything is there. All your levels, your whole mix comes back up. I feel like when I'm mixing here too, I don't have to worry about headroom and levels as much as I do when I'm in the box. You know, I'll come here and I won't even look at a meter or a clip meter, and I'll just like mix. Most sessions I usually like break things up into like drums, bass, music, vocals, and with the group inserts, I'll have various different things on the inserts of the main sub buses. So, for example, now I have these 50-52s on each subgroup. So I have like my drums coming through here. Actually, the drums coming through here. They go through the one of those HG2 black boxes, come back in. My bass comes here, music, vocals, and on the 50-52, he's got the silk control, which is great. It's another saturation type of control, and, you know, it allows me to push things more or add more harmonics, even more than the console itself. I feel this has taken my mixes to a new level, just in terms of, like I mentioned before, there's no screen. There's, you know, I sit in front of the desk and listen and mix, and it's, you know, I find my results are always better that way. These were my rare finds. I'm Jerimaya, and thanks for watching.